Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we're actually looking at something new. Today we're playing ARMA 3, and I'm going to show you a few tricks and tips and how I usually set up my Ravage missions. I have a new version of Ravage called Ravage Spooky, or Spooky Ravage, or I don't know, SNE named it. So what you need for this is you need Ravage, obviously, CBA 3. You need Van Diesen's Apocalypse. And you need Drongos, Spooks and Anomalies, as well as Remnant. Now what I usually do is I also add Devakos, Stalker-like Anomalies, and usually that is it. For the sake of showing you how I do some other things, I usually add SNE uniforms. This is a placeholder mod. You can use any mod you want. And I'm going to start my game, and you'll see what I mean in a bit. See ya. Right, here we are. Today we are going to look at how I set up my Ravage missions, and how you can set up your Ravage missions like I do. So first things first, you want to place down a survivor. In this case, I will place down a regular rifleman. This is just a placeholder. Again, you can do everything like that if you want to follow it specifically. You can place down a CSAT soldier, you can place down an AF soldier, you can edit the loadout, you can do everything. This is just a placeholder for your survivor. So what you want to do now is you want to go for your modules options, press F5 in the editor, or just go for the modules option yourself, and you can take the Drongo, Spooks and Anomalies first, placed on the core module, and disable the ACE damage. This is only good if you don't use ACE that has a medical system, meaning ACE Anti-Stasi, which I usually use, does not really matter. You also should have turned that off, because ACE Anti-Stasi does not use a medical option. So if your ACE has medical, leave this on. If it doesn't, turn it off. That is everything you need to change. Then you need the spawner ambient, not anomaly, not men, not spooks. You need ambient. So if you want to be safe and you want to have a bit of a challenge, leave all of those in. This means that every single thing that is here can be spawned. It is extremely excessive, especially on small maps, so I would usually tone the maximum units down to like 12 or even 8. Oh, 8. And this will size down the amount of spooks that will spawn. The Ravage missions are simple to set up, but we'll get to that in a bit. Next up we have Remnant. Remnant is a extremely difficult mod to coordinate, especially because it's really new, at least to the point of where I'm recording this. So what you do is you take the settings options and delete the falls in here. If you want to do it exactly like me, you can either leave these things unchecked, meaning you can see the things every time, but if you want to do it like me, you click these, meaning only if you stand still you can see the enemy. The spawner is more difficult. You will need to size down this a lot. The max spawn will be, for me, usually 14. Actually no, the max spawn will be 6 or 7, and max nearby is 4. This is very important that it's very low, because these things are pretty strong. They can kill you in one singular shot. And next up we have the Ravage. So what you need is, you don't need ambient AI, at least not if you want to use the Van Diesen's one. Otherwise you'll have a lot of ambient survivors running around. Ambient zombies is what you need. You place that down, turn that to walkers, Boltus ratio to 14 or something like that, and population limit down to 150, and population limit to 25, just halve it, or something like that. Then what I usually do is Dead Rising, only when killed by a zombie, meaning if you shoot someone they won't turn to a zombie, but if they get killed by a zombie they get turned into a zombie. Next up is Atmosphere. This is also pretty important. You place this down, and you activate everything. This means that you will have breath fog, meaning you can see your own breath. Dynamic sound casts, dynamic weather, meaning the weather can change randomly, ambient music, meaning it will play post-apocalyptic music soundtracks, and color filter, which will look a bit cooler. You can leave those unchecked or checked however you would desire to, but I usually do it like this. Gear pool, I would always turn this on, no matter if you have the DLCs or mods or whatever on or not. I would leave these always on just to be sure. The last one should say like this, and you can change what loadout of weapons it will spawn. Meaning Altis will spawn F2000s, Generals will spawn AKs, Takistan will spawn Falls, Tanoa will spawn some sort of MP5s or stuff like that. Nothing really else you need to change here. Next up is the loot system. I would always turn on all of these in case you have a mod that spawns other buildings from other mods. So you can be able to loot all of these. And I usually add a 1 to every single digit here. Meaning instead of 8 you have 81, instead of 25 you have 215, and all of this. Because the Ravage spawn diameter is extremely low, meaning you will have a pretty low chance of actually finding something in this wasteland. Yeah, and same goes for pretty much everything else. This would be the loot system, meaning you could technically already play it like this, but I would not recommend that. Settings would be the next. Just leave it like it is. This will just make your FPS a bit better. Survival system we will skip, but vehicles is extremely important. Well, not extremely, but I would usually put this to both. Vehicle damages to no. Wrecked presence, medium. This will make it so that if you walk through the streets, you will find some broken down vehicles that you can loot or drive if they're still working. So this would be the biggest parts. Next up would be the Varcos. Stalker anomalies. If you find those stalker anomalies, anomaly field. This I would recommend. There are two ways to go with this. The first way I will show it over here is you place it down here, like it's supposed to be, I think, and heighten this up to this level, and then you have to go to transform and change the size of this. In this case, 140 meters. This will create a circle in this area. This is where all the anomalies will spawn. If you want to do this, I would recommend you take the you take it normally to detector with you, so you can detect where anomalies are. Meaning, it will beep if you have these, but this is not necessary. This is how usually you should do this if you have a specific mission. But if you want to be crazy like me, you place this in the middle of the map, somewhere around here, I think. More right here, and then you heighten this up to insane amounts. About this, so the circle does not fit on the map anymore. Perfectly fine. And then you heighten these up also to insane amounts, meaning it will spawn anomalies randomly across the map. Meaning you will have another danger you'll have to look out for. For this to work though, you have to go into your options, settings, add-on options, and then turn it on via Stalker, Varco Stalker Anomalies. Turn it on. Check this box. Right. For our next part, or last part in this video, we'll have to look at Van Diensten's Apocalypse. For this, I need to prepare something. Let's say we want a survivor faction roaming around that is completely made up of CSAT soldiers. Not just some ragtag soldiers, but literal CSAT soldiers. So what units do we want to have roaming around? We want a regular rifleman. We want a GMG rifleman that just carries a GMG around, why not? And a sniper. These can be interchanged with anything. If you have RHS, use the Russians or Chidakis or whatever. If you have, I don't know, some sort of other mod, maybe Halo, you can use the insurrectionists. But yeah, these are the ones we want. So we go back to add-on options, and we go to Van Diensten's Apocalypse AI, and you scroll down a bit, and you see this is where you can configure everything. First thing we want to do is to have a chance of survival. You need to put this to 1 or 2. I usually put this to 2, meaning they will spawn with 2 first aid kits in the inventory. Now, AI patrols and AI stalkers are different. These will try to hunt you down, and these are just random patrols. Since we're playing with CSAT, you're going to right click on the unit, click on this on the lowest one of these, and then use save to clipboard. You go back to the add-on options. You scroll down to AI patrols. Put this in. Put a comma, not a space, a comma. Leave it. Delete this unit. Take the next one, do the same thing, and insert it again. It's very easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of effort, but it has a profound effect on the gameplay later on. This will mean that on the world there will be these units spawning randomly and roaming the area. On the end, you don't need another comma, meaning this will mean that this is the end of the line, so this is what the game reads then. So this will mean, if as soon as I would start this mission, the CSAT boys would spawn and roam the area, trying to kill zombies or something. They are extremely hostile, and you can change the faction, meaning you can technically make them blue force so they don't attack you. I usually don't do that. I usually use the United States Marine Corps from RHS roaming the area, meaning they will be very, very slow in actually doing anything, and they will be op 4. Since vehicles are not yet integrated, Vengeance Apocalypse though is getting a update very soon. Anyways, another thing that you need to know is there is a glitch in the current version as of 20th of March 2021 that if you only put one of these factions in, the other one will spawn as CSAT survivors without any weapons or anything. This can be fixed by simply putting the other ones as FIA or anything else. So let's just do that as well. Let's take FIA, Grenadier. To have these factions fight each other is really easy. You simply go into Attributes, General, and put this to Fighting. Then you go back into add-on options and take these as Stalkers. So let's just take this one as Stalker. Change this faction to Independent. This will mean that this unit will spawn as an independent unit that will attack you and the CSAT guys, meaning there will be firefights between AI going on. Henceforth, we need another thing that is extremely annoying and not well refined by VA. You go into this, and you click on Bleeding. You turn this off, and put all these sliders to 0. VA uses a bandage and medical system that is different to the vanilla one, and it is extremely annoying and frustrating. I would recommend you turn this off, unless you want a additional challenge, or it has been refined in the next update. As soon as the next update comes out, I will make a separate video to this. But next up is the Vengeance Apocalypse Infection. This is very important, as it will change the way you will play. So let's say you have an enemy, in this case a survivor, that is running around and getting bitten by zombies, and I mean zombies. Let's just take this one. And let's take this one, and he will attack him. And he will escape. So he would escape and he would not die. He would be infected sometimes. There's a slider for that. If he was infected, he will die eventually. If he doesn't find a cure, he will die. This will mean he will turn into a zombie later on. For this, I would usually recommend you put this to like 20 if you don't want to be super hardcore, and then put the medical spawn chance like 1 step higher. You can change what units can infect you, meaning if you want to play with spooks and anomalies and you want to make it a bit more difficult, I recommend you place a vampire and also put this to clipboard. Go back into the add-on options and paste this, meaning as soon as you get hit by a vampire you can also get infected. These are all the spooks that can be spawned randomly. These are easy to kill, but they are extremely hostile and they sometimes eat more than 1 mag. Anomalies are also a thing in here. These will not be detected by your anomaly detector, but to that I will come now. The anomaly detector is a thing that you need to put in. So you go into your equipment loadout, you edit the loadout, you can change the loadout however you wish. You'd go into your uniform usually, and go to miscellaneous, and then take this thing. The way this works is, if you would start the mission, if you have ACE installed, use a self-interaction and go to equipment and turn it on. If you don't have ACE installed, go to go into your inventory and left-click on it, or use the mouse wheel. That's how you do that. That's pretty simple, but there is one more thing. I can't show you this in full detail, but I will show you and explain it. So let's say you want a specific mission that requires your units to wear Stormtrooper armor. That is a very broad thing. So I mean, not your units, but the zombies to wear Stormtroopers armor. It's extremely broad. It can be exchanged for anything. Let's say Soviet Union armor, or I don't know, Knights armor or whatever. So what you do is you place a unit. You take if you have ACE installed, you need ACE installed for this. You place a unit. You give them the armor you want. And you click on the armor in the arsenal and press Ctrl C, and go into the zombies module. Enemy and zombies. I can just show you this in this way. So you place a unit, you go into their equipment, you take their uniform, and let's say you want an SNE uniform like I do. SNE DR Congo. Yeah. So this one is called uniform _ DR Congolese. Okay, can we have some better ones, like easier to write down? Uniform Portuguese. This is easy. So you want this uniform as a zombie uniform. You go into the zombies module, ambient zombies, and you double click on it. So you open back into this one. Then you click down here, uniform _ Portuguese. This will mean zombies will spawn in Portuguese uniform, and as a testament of this being true, I will show you this. Alright, so we have spawned in with our uniform and everything. First things first, I want to show you how to use the anomaly detector. The anomaly detector can be turned on via the mouse wheel, in my case. You simply use it. You simply use it. This is called the Remnant. These things are extremely dangerous and will kill you in one hit if they notice you. Luckily they haven't noticed me yet because I haven't moved. That's just a testimony to that my modules worked. So if you're going into the VR mode, this is just for debug. What you want to do is you want to fly around, and you already saw it a bit earlier. If I look from here and I go down here, there is a electrical anomaly somewhere. I saw that. These things make extremely loud noises. They are easy to hear. But this is the electrical anomaly, and this is a crawler, or crawling zombie or something. The electrical anomaly will kill people, and especially zombies. The zombies just walk into these, I think. You will have to be careful. These things will be spotted by your by your anomaly counters. On the other hand, we have these things. Now, what are these? The docks. These are things spawned randomly by the AI. These can be turned off in the AI section. These have extremely retarded AI, and they are extremely annoying. They can be taken out by the single pistol shot, though, so they're not too dangerous. But, on the other hand, these units have been spawned randomly. This is a bandit camp, apparently. An interesting design. I think this is spawned by VA, should be. And, we have these units. These are all the same unit. These are the FIA units. Grenadier. These will attack you on sight. Yeah. Saying this, the module has worked. But there's one more thing. Over here we have Bluefork camp, apparently. This is a trader camp. Looks a bit destroyed because of the location, probably. So these usually would be able to trade with you. They won't because VA hasn't finished that yet, but in the future it will. These you can trade with, and they are really easy to trade with, and they're really cool people. On the other hand, we have another issue. If you were playing, in my case, you would immediately die because there were so many people, or like so many monsters there. But that is a different issue. I don't know who these are. These look like regular soldiers, apparently. Yeah, that's also an issue. They spawn with the Taurus Judge, or Taurus Striker, which is a flare gun. It's not really helpful. But yeah, on the other hand, everything worked fine, meaning we got ourselves a pretty cool scenario. This is how you set it up. You can use this with RHS, CUP, pretty much any mod you think of. VA will pretty much support everything, but there will be also spooks, which haven't spawned in yet because they have like a timer or something which they spawn in. But yeah, hope this video was helpful. I'm sorry if my English isn't that good, but yeah, I hope to see you in the next video, and goodbye.